Hello, 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 everyone. It's Brenda Douglas, aka Real Estate Diva. And listen, thank you so much for listening to the Diva Home and Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you for listening and thank you for sharing. My objective or the mission of this podcast is to help people procure, retain, and preserve their home investment. I read something that was so disturbing. I'm just going to jump right into it. I read something that was so disturbing. Right? It came from someone who received a water bill, right? And that water bill was almost $2,000. I know, I can see that your mouth has dropped. And I was just shocked, right? You know, the thing about a bill, first of all, you have to pay utilities when you have a house. And actually nowadays, apartments require you to have utilities, right? Well, anyway, the thing is you cannot predict what a utility bill will be, the amount of the bill. You cannot predict it, right? Which is why it's always good to be able to save up money or have a cushion, right? Which will help you to. Let me slow down. I'm still confused. Which will help you to retain and preserve your home investment, right? So the water bill comes every 3 months. So for those of you who are not paying water, let me just say that the water bill, you're billed every 3 months, right? But the water bill is not typically high, and yet in these groups that I'm in, I am seeing a lot of posts about people who are paying a substantial amount of money for water, right? Whereas one bill used to be 124, now it is like 700. Like there's some crazy numbers, right? Somebody's is 12 instead of it being, well, actually some water bills are 1,200, 4,000. Used to be $150. Let me slow down. $150, and now they received a bill and it's $700. I mean, absolutely crazy, right? So listen, in this episode, I'm going to share what you can do when your water bill is extremely high, right? Then I'm also going to share the signs that you may have a leak, okay, which is causing your water bill to be extremely high. Like I said, you cannot predict what a utility bill how much a utility bill will be, but you can be proactive and make sure that you are efficient so that your bill is not crazy high. So let me give you some solutions. But first, the quote of the episode. The quote of the episode comes from Wayne Dyer when he said, "I cannot always control what goes on outside, but I can always control what goes on inside." So I hope that was helpful. And yes, you heard that right. People's water bills are absolutely out of control. So again, I want to give you some solutions so that you are not frustrated. The most important thing about you being proactive and staying on top of this is the fact that, do you know that when you have a water bill that is not paid, they can actually put a lien against your property. Okay, so this is not something that you want to ignore or dismiss, right? You want to be proactive, even if it means calling customer service to get to the bottom of things. And I'm going to give you some other solutions, right? But you do not want to ignore this because, like I said, the bill can grow to the point where they'll shut it off, or they can also put a lien against the property, and you will not be able to sell the property until that lien is paid, okay? So now here are some solutions. First, before I get into the solutions, I think I want to start with the signs that you have a leak. Some signs that you may have a leak which is causing your water bill to be high, include a high water bill, low water pressure, cracked pavement, sinkholes or potholes in the yard. The water is dirty or rusty, like when you turn on your bathtub water or the sink water, the water is dirty or rusty. You see water on the street or in your driveway, on the side of the house, wherever. You see a stream of water or just water in general, and you believe nothing is turned on. It is a sign that there is a leak. If you hear a hissing sound or splashing, a water splashing noise, it could mean that you have a leak. If you see insects that love the water, but again, you don't have any water standing around you visibly, or like, standing water or any water of that type. You don't have anything on. You don't have any puddles in the sink and things of that nature. If you see insects that love the water, it is a sign that you may have a leak. Okay? If your neighbors also have a high water bill, there are public pipes that could also have cracks in them, right? Or holes or what have you. And somebody has to pay that, right? So if several of you have it, it might be that pipe that's going through that neighborhood or on that street, right? So that's why it's good to talk to your neighbors so that you guys can kind of help each other out sometimes, right? If you find that your water bill is too high, like I said, call customer service immediately, right? So that they can investigate the matter, right? You want to come up with a payment plan because, like I said, you don't want to ignore it. You want to be proactive and you want to take control and you want to be responsible, right? So call them and make some type of payment arrangements. Like I said, the water bill comes out every 3 months. But don't just make the payment plan. You need to get to the root cause of the water being so high, right? The water bill being so high. So if you notice that, one month your bill was like that example, one of the examples I showed, if you notice that your bill was like 150, it can be 700, right? The next month, something's wrong. There's clearly something wrong. So if there is a substantial difference, then you want to contact the utility company, right? For those of you who live in Maryland, just know that Maryland launched a low-income household water assistance program. It is through the state of Maryland, dhs.maryland.gov, for you to get help with your water bill. So just letting you know. All right, so another thing you can do is you can go to the water company website and you can set up a high water alert for it to notify you when your water bill usage is high, right? Or higher than normal, I should say, right? So the other thing you can do is check the wash machine. Make sure there's not a puddle of water underneath the wash machine, as well as the dishwasher, right? You do save more water when you wash the dishes through the dishwasher as opposed to washing it by hand. When you wash your dishes by hand, you're constantly turning on the water to rinse it off. And then sometimes you leave the water on. You have to change the water often. The water gets dirty. You have to pour it out. Then you get some more water. So you use more water when you are hand washing the dishes as opposed to using a dishwasher. I think I just jumped the gun. What I was saying is that make sure that there are no leaks with the wash machine or the dishwasher. Look under it, near it, to make sure that there are no water spots. Okay, you also might want to switch to energy efficient machines, and that includes the wash machine, the dryer, the dishwasher, the toilets even. Switch to energy efficient. Follow energy efficient. Now, let me just say that if you have an old toilet, you might want to switch to, again, an energy efficient toilet, right? Some toilets have it where you can flush. It has like 2 types of flushes, right? One of them you flush and it releases a little bit of water, and the other, number 2, the second knob, you push it and it will release more water, right? Because sometimes you don't need a whole bunch of water, right? So again, energy efficient appliances and energy efficient machines and energy efficient toilets will help save on your water costs. Now, one common test that you can do when it comes to checking the water and making sure there are no leaks is you can pour food coloring into the tank, right? Then you can let it sit for an hour or two. And if there is any color in the commode in the bottom half of the toilet, where you sit, where you flush or what have you, then it means that you have a leak. So you're going to pour food coloring into the tank, the part that has the top. Put food coloring in there. If you see food coloring in the bowl after a while, after an hour or so, then it could mean that you have a leak. Listen, when in doubt, call a professional. The water company, plumbers can come out and check it for you, okay? The other thing is people washing clothes. You want to make sure that people wash a full load of clothes, not one or two things here or there, because that is wasting water, right? So you want to make sure that when they wash a full load, right? You also can shorten your showers. My son is guilty of taking very, very long showers, right? So, we had to say, no, you need to cut that back, and then when he was in the military, he had to take really short showers, like extremely short showers. So, that has helped him tremendously now, right? So anyway, shorten your showers, right? Do not run the water on frozen meat. Sometimes when we want to thaw out meat, it's been in the freezer all day, right? And we want to thaw it out because that's what we're about to cook, right? Sometimes people turn on the hot water and they just let the water run. I was guilty of this. Now I just take the meat out that morning and then in the evening I can cook it, right? But anyway, so don't let the water run over the meat. Or the food item to thaw it out. Or water bottles. I used to do the same thing with water bottles. Anyway, so be careful about that, right? All right, so let's see what else you can do. As I've stated before, you can call the water company as well as a plumber and have them to come out and do a test for you, okay? And they can probably check your appliances to make sure that they're energy efficient. When they are older, including the toilet, then they will use more water, okay? So just keep that in mind. If your toilet and your appliances are very, very old, it may be time to upgrade and get something that will save you money in the long run, right? All right. So the other thing you can do is check that outside there's a spacid. I forget how you say the word. Outside there's a it is the pipe it is this, oh God, what is that word? It's where you connect the water hose. Make sure that is off. Okay, make sure that is turned off until you use it. If that is if it's turned on and running, then you are wasting water. Okay, so make sure that you turn it completely off until you are using it. Make sure that there is nothing dripping from the faucets, nothing dripping from that pipe where you plug the water hose. Make sure that they're all turned off. Check your water meter, right? If that red triangle is moving, fast or slow, if it is moving at all, you could have a leak, okay? So again, you want to get the professional or you look yourself to see if it is moving. If it is moving, you could have a leak somewhere and it is going to cost you, right? And it's better to do it sooner than later. Don't wait until your bill comes. Do it immediately, right? Check the flaps and the valves in your toilet tank. Okay, if you lift up the top of the toilet tank, you will see like a little flap. When you push the handle to flush the toilet, the flap will open up, right? You want to make sure that flap is is closing properly, right? As well as the valves, right? And if you don't know, again, get a plumber to come out and double check that for you. You want to do it sooner than later, right? You also want to be careful about scams or people sending you bills, bogus bills, right? Now listen, I hate to be overly, I don't want to say overly protective, but I hate to be careful, but you have to be nowadays. It is what it is, right? So call the company, the water company, to confirm that it is in fact your bill and have them send you out a statement showing exactly how much usage you used. Now, if you see standing water in your yard, again, you want to check your meter to see, you'll see a small red, white, or blue triangle, right? And it's an indicator. Now, listen, puddles in your yard could mean a leak underground, right? So, again, you want to get a plumber to come and look that up. But when you see those puddles, don't disregard it, right? Get a professional to look at it. Because, like I said, you will pay in the long run if you don't. All right, and last but not least, energy companies or utility companies have a energy plan that they can help you with, right? And they come and they inspect your home and they tell you ways that you can save energy, okay? Whether you have an increase in your, a spike in your water bill or not, it is a great idea to get an energy consultation. Okay, so just have them come out and look at your place to make sure that you're not wasting in any way. Okay. All right, so I hope that this information has been helpful. God knows I don't want you or me or anyone to get bills that high, especially when you were expecting it to be like 100 and then it comes out 700. Oh my goodness, but you can be proactive and prevent that, right? So that you can, again, retain your home investment and preserve it in the long run, right? So listen, again, I hope that this information has been helpful to you. If you have experienced such a thing, you can feel free to leave a message in the comments. One of the things I forgot to say is that sometimes the commissions will hold a hearing, a public hearing, in which you as the consumer can come out and you can voice your opinions on what is happening in terms of the water and the utilities in general. So find out the council in your state or wherever you are to find out when do they meet, and then how you can. So here the water company has a council where people, again, consumers can come out and voice their opinion on what is going on. Because the other thing is that sometimes the rates do change, right? So anyway, guys, if you have experienced your water bill go from one extreme to another, then I want you to leave your comments. Leave your comments, guys, because your comments can help other people, right? Your comments can be solutions. So feel free to leave your comments, right? And then also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast, right? Listen, whether you are buying or selling a home, keep your head lifted, your hopes high, and remember that it is not over until the keys are exchanged. I hope this has been helpful. Have a blessed day.